Anji, guys, welcome. Friday night is the Chip and Chin show. Joined by, obviously, we have a guest that always joins us on a Friday night. Avi, guys, first and foremost, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. And you know what? We were supposed to go 15 minutes ago. Well, 8 minutes ago. We thought we'll come on a bit earlier. But here we are. Guys, first and foremost, Chip, what's going on, man? How's things? Avi,
Your mic's not on.
No. You know I got my wisdom teeth taken out. You're aram se kar yaar. Please. You know I got my wisdom teeth taken out today. Don't make me speak too loud. I'm here because I'm here.
Shut the hell up. Take that bun out your mouth and start talking, joker.
Because I'm sick. You know I got my wisdom teeth taken out today.
This is what I mean about Chin. This is what I mean about Chin. It's been about 3...
Oh, yeah, what are you doing, man? What the hell are you doing on the show? Then Avi, you shouldn't have even come on if you're not feeling too well, man.
Well, your Friday have to come for the viewers.
No, you know what? I respect it. I thought you were chatting shit. He literally came on backstage and you said, we're getting late. We're 8 minutes late. We'll go live straight away. Normally we have a 5-minute gup shop. Avi, you know what? I give you a lot of shit. You sometimes back out 5 minutes before the show. That's commitment, Chin. That's dedication.
You should, Avi, you're supposed to at least send us a message saying, bro, I'm not feeling well. I've got my tooth taken out. I can bring somebody else on with all due respect. Bring somebody else on with it. Rather, you can't even speak. You'd rather leave him at home. Bring somebody else on.
Avi's presence.
You guys have more laser.
I sent him a message. I sent.
Did you? I literally just come from Taraweeh prayers and came in.
My wisdom teeth. My top left. Hold on 1 minute. 1 minute.
Actually, he did.
Mafi, 1 minute. Mafi.
Yeah, but Bayana, you're asking me to tell us, innit? If you can't do a show, say I can't do one, bro. I've had my tooth taken out. I can't do a show. Man can't even speak.
He's going to try, isn't he? We'll have to do the talking for him. If he has to give us some gestures tonight, it's fine. You have to credit that dedication, Chin, man. What are you playing like? You're harsh on him, man.
People are going to be like another lash.
Avi, remember who's backing you?
What are you doing, man? I don't want to see that.
That's wisdom teeth taken out. Kasam said today.
We're going to stick that on the wall or something. You're going to frame it.
Necklace.
Yeah, but then what?
Avi, remember,
Avi, you might
auction it. You know what? We'll auction his wisdom tooth.
I'm here, but I'm going to be very limited today. No rula, no kasam shakon. Not today.
You know what? When he came on the Chin, I thought he's got some pan in his mouth.
Oh no.
Yeah, Avi, you know what? Ramen, I took a day off.
No. He's taking his wisdom tooth out, but you're talking without any wisdom.
I'm going to ask him a question. What's the bloody point of him on?
Avi, I'll talk for you tonight. Yaad Rak, Avi, when you've taken your wisdom, I didn't even know. Wallahi.
I can message.
But remember who backed you today. But not your boy, not your co-host.
He's about pretty sure.
Look, my kids should.
You know, he's right.
I'm not taking the bullshit.
And it's your cheek is swollen anyway on good days.
You know what? The chat is saying do this. So you know what? I'll just do this. I'll leave him here for the decoration today, guys. Yes, and a decoration.
Ramen.
We stood like that. Ramen.
Avi, I actually feel sorry for you, man. The way you're talking, I feel sorry for you, man.
Yeah, I told you.
Did they put you to sleep?
Yeah. Local anesthesia.
Anjay.
But look, I'm here. Look, I can speak a little bit, but not too much. I can't do no shouting, please. Today, no shouting
today. No shouting.
The mag fir gaya kasam today.
So, guys, welcome to the Chip and Chin and Asim show for Friday night. Apologies for the introduction. I didn't know Manzad is wisdom tooth out, but here we go. Here we are. Asim, how are you? You
I'm
can speak
okay.
Thai.
I'm okay. No wisdom tooth or teeth taken out on this side, but yeah, I have to respect it. You know what, Avi, you've bought a lot of respect from me today. But I give you a lot of shit on and off the camera, but money gaya, but money gaya. But I'm good. It feels like Liverpool haven't played for in about 3 months, Gene. But honestly, when was the last time we played? Brighton. But it feels like ages. We've been doing 5 in, 5 out, then about 6 out, 6 in. We tried to keep things ticking over. Obviously, you had Ben and Simon. I had Tom and Ben on the previous night. It's been good. It's been good, but the foot is back. The real foot is back. And that day, I actually came on show, Gene, and wallahi, till about 3-4 minutes before the show, I didn't even know Arsenal were playing. I looked at it 2-1. I thought, you bloody hell. I didn't know they were playing, but a couple of minutes left. And then I saw someone's notification come up on my phone. Wow, 2-all. And that made my week. That made my week. The Arsenal meltdown made my week. But let's make sure we do our job. I know we're nowhere near in terms of the title race, but if we've got some good results at Sunderland, if we've got some good results in the FA Cup with Brighton, and obviously we won a couple of more games in the Premier League before that. I know we had some bad results amongst those as well, but things are looking encouraging. But they won't look encouraging if we don't keep this up. We have to keep it up because it's 11, 12 games to go now. There's no room for error if we're going to get Champions League football.
Yeah, look, I completely agree with you. And look, obviously there was them Champions League games during the week as well in terms of who Liverpool will face. It looks like Galatasaray beat Juventus 5-2 at home, and then there was the 3-3 between Club Brugge and Atletico Madrid. So it looks like obviously we don't know what's going to happen with the Atletico game. It was an open game. I watched it. Looks like Galatasaray will probably be the side that will probably go through from the tie against Juve. Avi, I'll be honest. I don't want. There's one team I don't want. I don't want Atletico Madrid. Give me any team from the other three. I don't care. I just don't want Atletico Madrid again. Again, especially in the last 16.
Yeah, you don't know which Simeone team turns up, but you know,
You know what, Avi?
I
Take a
think
day off.
no, I think we have that.
Get Bonnie, come
Everything
on, man. Avi, this is gonna ruin the show, man. This Avi, you should
Yeah,
have taken a day off.
I turned up though.
Turned up to do
Let's
what?
ask the
You
chat.
can't
Let's
even
ask
see
the
the
chat.
manager's name
Let's ask the
correctly,
chat.
man.
You can
Let's
have,
ask the chat.
you can hear me a little bit, yeah. Come on.
Look, what are you going? Shishimiuni.
No,
Come on, get on up here.
I can't feel my jeeb. My jeeb going. Any?
Who is Simeone?
Look, we know his teams. We know his teams.
Oh, I mean, Gene's giving him shit. I'm supporting the brother. I'm respecting the brother.
Adam, look, I'm saying give him a day off. I'm actually being nice to him, saying, yeah, relax, Avi, take a time off, take a day off, recover. I'm the one that's being nice. You're telling him to bloody stay on.
You say that
I'm the one that's the one here.
they're saying that they want me the day off. He's telling me to chill because I won't get paid for disappearance today. Then that's the problem. That's why I'm here. But look, anyway,
when did you start getting paid?
look, they can hear me. They can hear
Look
me.
at that. Look at
Yeah,
that.
Go on, Avi. Okay, you know what? Take
I-
two.
I think there's that fear factor from 2020 season when we lost when Adrian was in goal and whatnot. But away from that, I think we've had decent results after that in the Champions League against them. And look, this season, earlier on this season, we actually played well for the first 55 minutes before Llorente decides to score a brace again at Anfield. So, look, I'm not afraid of anyone, actually. Atletico Madrid, Juventus, whether it be Galatasaray. I wish it was Club
What's that
Brugge.
noise, man?
It's not going to be Club Brugge.
It's like a pencil sharpener.
Oh, yeah, shut up now, please. You're going to...
No roller today. No roller.
Look, Simeone, there's nothing to be afraid of, Gene. The latter stages, quarterfinal, semi-final, yeah, we could face a British team, we could face an Arsenal, a Chelsea, a Man City, a Spurs, but I'm not afraid of them. I actually ain't. Honestly, PSG looked shaky against Monaco. They came back second half. Barcelona aren't the team in Europe than they are in the league. They lost to Girona last week, and now they're second in the league. Real Madrid and Arbeloa are starting to turn up a little bit, but honestly, it's an open format. For me, I said at the beginning of the season, Liverpool or Bayern Munich. They're the two that they're the two that I feel will get to the final, or if we don't, Bayern Munich certainly.
Wow. Who do you fancy for the Champions League this year, Avi?
I said if it wasn't going to be us, I fancy Bayern Munich. I think they've got so much in their locker, and the key thing for them, 1 minute, I need a breather. I think the key thing for them a little bit is Musiala coming back, Jamal Musiala coming back, and they've got the variables: Musiala, Leonard Carl, Olise, Diaz, and obviously they've got Harry Kane. That five could do damage, and do not sleep on Pavlovic in that centre midfield area. He picks up ground, eats up ground very, very well. A brilliant, a brilliant midfielder, by the way.
Harry Kane. Can you say the word obviously, please, Avi?
Obviously.
Sound like Harry Kane as well tonight.
Your thoughts? Obviously, we'll speak a little bit about the Champions League in terms of. I'll be straight. I don't want Atletico Madrid. I just don't want to play them. I'll take anybody else.
Yeah. I think it's pedigree, isn't it? It's pedigree. I think Tom was saying it the other day that they're a bit of a yo-yo club at the moment, but the yo-yo club can turn up. I know you've got the opposition, the challenge of Galatasaray. Their fans. We've seen it already this year. Juve have just found out how difficult that ground is, that crowd is. And in any Champions League tie is going to be difficult at this stage. But they've got pedigree. Avi just mentioned Llorente. They've got plenty of good players who can play, who can shine on the big day. And Anfield, it scares a lot of people, but a few of their players, they rise to the challenge, to be fair to them. And we've battered them in stages, but they just keep getting that sucker punch moment and the momentum and the game changes. But I don't want Atletico Madrid because they know this competition. They've got plenty of they've got World Cup winners in their squad. So that manager does not. I know they've had some bad results over the last couple of years, but generally speaking, that manager, that team, they don't lose easily. They just don't, and they will give you a proper game. I don't know if we are at home first and away first, which obviously is an advantage to us. We bring them back to Anfield, but yeah, the more established teams who are used to the latter stages of the Champions League that we could avoid, then I'm all up for that. Liverpool or Anfield turn up. We can turn over anyone 3 or 4-0. Even this Liverpool team this season, we know with the special connection that we have with the Champions League, but more so with other teams. I think we can beat Galatasaray 3-0 at Anfield and the game is over. But I don't think we can probably do that. Well, it's less likely to do that against Atletico Madrid. But we just have to make sure we keep that momentum going. That is the main thing for us.
Gene, and another thing, this season, regardless of how bad we've played from September to December, and even now, I know the 2 games we've lost 2 games in 19, and even those were last minute winners like Slot keeps alluding to. I'll tell you one thing now, and I'll say it every time in the Champions League, whether we've had a shit campaign in the league, no one fancies playing Liverpool, home or away. And that is to do with the heritage, the pedigree. It's like Real Madrid now. It's probably the worst Real Madrid team in terms of there's no continuity. But look, that result on the other week against Guyana, who they play? Benfica. That might just rile them up. That might just give them that motivation to go yet again. And we know Real Madrid, more often than not in last 10 years, they'll get to the final and win it. So, look, there's no one out there that will fancy Liverpool either. The PSG, the Barca, the Real Madrid, they do not want to play us either.
Can I make the conversation, if you don't mind, Gene? I know you're the host tonight, but Avi mentioned Benfica, and it just came to my mind. The obvious topic of discussion in the last couple of days has been that incident: Benfica, Real Madrid, Vinicius, Jose. Did you hear what Vincent Kompany had to say today? Did you watch that 11 minutes in the press conference?
I heard he was praised. I didn't watch the video though.
Yeah, I thought he spoke really well. But what do you make of it? The whole situation. Do you think there's enough being done in football right now to counter racism? I know we could do a whole show on it, but it's been obviously in the news over the last couple of days since that incident again.
I'll be honest with you, Asim. I look at Vinicius Junior, and I think he is sort of scapegoated a lot of the times. Yes, he's a bit of a pain in the ass. The way he plays, the way he celebrates, I get all that, but his banter. End of the day, I just think wherever he plays, whoever he plays against, he's just one of them players that do rile up the opposition, and the opposition get riled up to an extent where they start. Even if you look at their fans, I'm sure you saw videos of the fans, making them monkey gestures and all that
Yeah,
type of stuff.
yeah.
That in itself just shows you what type of footballer what he is. Unless, yeah, did he incite the fans? Probably did, but that's what happens. They've literally scored a last minute win against them 2 or 3 weeks ago to get to this stage. They got Real Madrid again. The guy scores a worldly goal, goes over and dances in front of him. The goal, you have to be able to take it. It's part and parcel of football. Banter in that sort of sense. Players give it, the fans give it. I understand that, but to go come out and start making racist bloody gestures. Number one, and look, the Argentinian. Let's be honest, Asim. Anybody who's hiding his mouth and saying shit, if you look at the way Vinicius Junior reacted, it wasn't just a normal, slight little reaction. He ran. He heard something that he didn't like what he heard, and he ran straight towards the referee because it must have been. He's not going to run like that for no reason, is it? Let's be honest. Something must have been said to have him riled up, and it's not the first time he's been in the news regarding this, racism stuff. He gets it a lot, especially in the Spanish league. The Spanish teams that were in the past have give him a load of as well. I just think it's a sad state of affairs in 2026. We're still speaking about racism in football and all that type of stuff. And look, will it ever go? Probably not, if we're honest, Asim. But all we can do is, not all the fans and whatever they can do is at least try to do whatever they can. But I heard what Thierry Henry said. I listened to even what's that girl on NBC? Can I
Hey,
say?
Abdul.
Yeah, Kate Abu, she was brilliant. All of these, they spoke really, really well about it, and I missed obviously the talk
Mm,
from company, but generally speaking, what can you do? It's just a sad state of affairs.
mm. I mean, there's also obviously a wider discussion. I don't want to go into it, but obviously we're all three South Asian. When you listen, and rightly so, what I'm going to say in the next couple of minutes, I think there needs to be a more of a representation with the black community and all that. But sticking with us, do you think there should be and more of a representation from South Asians in the media? Because I know we don't have a lot of players compared to the black community, but there's still a few about. We still obviously a massive following in football. India, Pakistan, all the South Asian continent is absolutely football mad right now. Even though they obviously got their first love with cricket and stuff, but it's a global football. But do you think the South Asian community don't have a voice as well?
100%. I think you'll find that, and I don't think I'm wrong when I say this. I think there is a good amount of black presence, black community presence in the media, in the sporting world especially. And South Asians, like, look at the three of us. I think the three of us, and I think the viewers and the people in the chat will know we've got a broad knowledge on every sport. We can talk cricket, we can talk UFC, we can talk boxing, we can talk football. I mean, Asim, your stuff is incredible. Gene talks a good game, I talk a good game. There isn't enough representation. Yes, they're trying. I know ITV have that woman. I don't know what her last name is, but Jaswal, Seema Jaswal,
She's
Seema Jaswal, who comes on ITV, on does the England games. There is
this
a
child, that
little.
Chowdhury lady as well. She gets a big gigs, man. I forgot her name. Is it Tamsin?
Chowdhury, the BBC reporter who commented when he interviewed Pep, but it's very scarce. It's very scarce. It's there's only around three or four of them really well known, and we do need presence. And there's people out there that just don't unfortunately get the chance because there is favoritism. You can't deny that in the media there is a little bit of favoritism towards a certain sort of color or race. That's in the professional world as well. When you're applying for jobs, there is a bit of favoritism there. But yeah, I think hopefully, as in the coming years, I think we
Mm,
will see a change. We will see, South Asian content creators whether they're commenting on games or whether they're just fan channels. But coming out on Sky Sports, TNT Sports, ITV, I think we will see a more of a presence.
One thing that I will say, this is one thing that's always stood with me, Avi and Nasim, is to all eclipses, because I find it hard to believe that both Pakistani and India, with a combined population of what they have, and not be able to produce basically one Premier League proven player. And it's always stuck with me, this, Asim. I always thought, yeah, how come one hasn't, especially with the amount of presence we have, especially in the UK as well, that one hasn't been able to come through and make it. Look, Hamza Chowdhury's made it, but I mean, like one in the big clubs, come through. Because I look at Germany, Asim, and I look at obviously the Turks there. So many Turks have come through the ranks in Germany. You got the Ozils, Kadiras, Cemre Can. These are, you know, proper internationals for their country. Whereas in the UK, especially in England, we've never really been able to produce South Asian footballers at Premier League level. Yes, lower leagues, I know there's quite a few, but I'm talking in the Premier League. It's been a bit of a struggle.
Yeah, look, when I was growing up, in a small town in Keighley, obviously you grew up in the same area, and I saw. Look, I'd like to say I was. You probably back me up here. I'd like to say, look, I was a really good footballer, but I lived in a small town which had some cracking footballers, 5-a-side players, 11-a-side players, and I thought, you know what, these guys just need the support, the support. But that generation, I was younger than that first generation of my elder brothers, but and I can speak from my own experience in cricket. Hassan's dad, he represented, the district. He was one of the best, for me, the best, one of the best batsmen in around the district. A left-handed, brilliant player, and Atik, who probably scored on many occasions on the Saturday and a Sunday, will vouch for that as well. But my dad and my mum had the pressure. My dad was the only breadwinner in the house. He worked 7 days a week, and he worked overtime on the 8th day of the week as well. And I never saw my dad for weeks. And my mum was helping around as well. She was a housewife. She brought the kids, but the moment the kids came, they had to go to extra classes. They had to, because there was no one to take them to a football class, a cricket class, because the pressure on them was to make sure they get educated and provide for the family in years to come. And I believe that generation lost the opportunity. Further on now, obviously, the generations after that, the money, the time, the sort of facilities as well have broadened. And honestly, I can't put it just to opportunity now, Gene. In terms of the people are going there, you're experiencing with your little one right now, and your grassroots level, and hopefully he goes on to make it. But you're going there, you can give him the time. We didn't have the time. My elder brothers didn't have the time. So let's see what happens in the next 5-10 years. But when you look at other sports, boxers are making it. Cricket, if you want to talk about, I know we've overlapped with the issue of racism. I believe cricket had a deep-rooted racism problem. Our doorstep, it's been in the Netherlands, the Yorkshire Cricket Club. Players like Moeen Ali and this and that, all these guys came in the Midlands or in the southern counties. In up north, we probably had a bigger problem down the south. But obviously now it's getting better. Awareness is getting better. Integration is getting better. Let's see what happens. But it's a fascinating conversation. We didn't plan to have this conversation. We can talk about it. But yeah, it's intriguing.
And I just want to say one thing, Avi, before you can go, is one thing that I will say, and I realized this obviously, especially over the last two and a half years, by I've taken my kid to football. Then he plays at a decent sort of level in Manchester. And the one thing that I will say is, in the league that he's in, Asim, the Premier League, in the league, I didn't see many Asian footballers at the age of 4 or 5. And
why?
And this is what baffled me more than anything, because I thought, okay, I understood the generation before that. We could probably blame that, on parents. They didn't have the time to support and give our kids the full opportunity to go and make it. People now, with all due respect, if you've got a kid boy, or Avi's got a boy, or other people in our same generation who love football, who are completely football mad, would take their kids to play football at a very early age, from 3, 4 onwards, to give them the chance. But when I went there, and I thought, in the whole league, there's about 8 Asians, and I'm there thinking to myself, no wonder we don't bloody make it, Asim. I'll be honest. This is, and it hit home, Avi. It actually hit home that time, thinking, you know what? I don't blame. How can you make it? You're starting at 7, 8. These kids that are starting at 4 or 5, they've got a massive, massive head start on you guys,
Do you
because they
think
started
that
3
the
or 4
South
years
Asians,
before you guys.
do you think the South Asians who are actually trying and trying to make it are starting too late?
I do. I look. There's a kid now at Liverpool Football Club. There's a couple of kids that I know that are at Leeds United. There's a kid that I know that's at Bolton. One's at Oldham. These are young kids that that are playing in the same sort of same league as my little one, and they're getting picked up. These are Asian kids that are getting picked up in these leagues because they started at 4 or 5 years old. I believe Liverpool, most of us, we probably start too late. Maybe start at 7 or 8. I'm not saying it's late and it's done, but you have to start really, really early, and you actually see the level, Asim, when you see these kids play at 4 or 5. My kid, I've mentioned this to you many a times, Asim. He plays with, he played with the likes of John Stone's kid. He plays with the likes of what's his name? Elliot, when he's gone now, but Edison's kid, and all these kids. Even Wayne Rooney's kid, I've seen him play. You see John Stone's kid. I've mentioned this to you before. You see that kid play at 5 years old, mate. The guy is sensational. I've not seen a 5-year-old kid like him. And remember, I came back and I said to you, mate, I saw Stones' kid. He's unbelievable.
Well, that kid's got a big advantage. He's got Stones' genetics, and your little one's got your genetics.
No, but you get where I'm coming from. Like, it was unbelievable, and it's like, look, because they start so young, and honestly, I hope a lot of one thing everybody in the chat, if you've got kids that are like 3 or 4 years old, get them going to these football academies, get them going to football, and see what happens, because I would love more than anything to see a South Asian make it, at a United or a Liverpool or a Chelsea or a City, like a proper, made it into the first team, and he's there for a few years, because I think it'd give us a massive boost going forward.
I'll tell you a story, guys, and this, I think it comes down to hunger and maybe your background as well. When I was under the 18 Kent team, we had Pakistan over, the Pakistan under 18 team that flew over.
Kalupa, go on, tell us.
Jimmy Adams was our batting coach, and we played against the Pakistani 18 team, and there's 2 players that I still remember who went on to become international players. You lot guys obviously know Mohammed Sami, when I keep mentioning to you lot, played against him. And there was another player, he was left arm, Wahab Riaz as well.
Yeah.
I think he played against Australia, his debut or whatever, right?
He had a good career.
And there was us playing, and we thought, okay, these guys, they're scrawny little fellas, we'll get the better of them. And honestly, when we saw the way they played, it's just a pure hunger. And I think it's because of where they come from. They come from poor backgrounds, these cricketers, especially like in the Pakistan, India region. So they've got that extra determination, motivation. And they had it. And I'm happy to say, I can openly admit, they wanted it more than us. And you now see, those were the 2 notable players that went on to play for Pakistan. Sami, I think, had a good career until injuries and whatnot. And he was a quick bowler.
Nippy.
Sometimes I look at the players in my circle of squad, the squad that we had, none of us made it. None of us made it beyond, I didn't even get to like county level. I kind of left and had other interests, family business and whatnot. But some of these kids have got nothing but cricket. Some of these have got nothing but football. And their dads, what happens is, in our culture back in the day, our parents wanted us to get a degree, get into computer science, go and become a doctor, lawyer, accountant, because they came from backgrounds from Pakistan, India, where they didn't have the opportunities. So they come to England, they work hard, factory jobs, whatever, and they want they want a better future for the kids, but they just never thought sport would be that avenue. But when you think of it now, I think it's evening up. Like, you've got your little boy in football, Gene, and you got him at a young age at 5, 6. You just never know. If they watch football and you drum it into them day in, day out, that's key. Back in the day, we didn't have a diet. Our parents were giving us carbs upon carbs, roti khao, parathe khao, lamb, nahari, whatever you lot want, chicken. Whereas the other communities, they do have a diet. There is a discipline. There is a strict diet that they follow, and that's why we've seen it. But I think the gap where we will see a first, maybe Pakistani or an Indian footballer, I think that gap will close in the next 5 to 10 years.
Well, surely it's about talent as well, Avi. I get the hunger bit. I get
I'm,
it.
it
But
is. I
come
will
on.
look. I'm not gonna sit in on the fence, Asim. Of course, it's talent as well. Let's be honest. I will be open and honest about this, Asim. I've seen kids that are Asian that have played, and I see the other kids that have played, and I think, wow. And and then another crazy thing is the Asian kids that I've seen, with all due respect, they're bloody 2 foot compared to the. I'll be no one like. There's a massive like
Well,
difference in
how
terms of.
how important is that, Avicii? You will tell us you're at the grassroots. I know what you mean. I agree with you. A 13-year-old South Asian, he's a lot smaller than any other kid. But how important is that now when you go to these games and coaching sessions? How much do they look like of in terms of height and physique? Because yes, at 13 they might be a bit smaller and a bit more weak, but they'll catch up soon at the age of 18 and 19, generally speaking.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah, of
how
course.
important is it? Because yes, 10, 15 years ago, on my head, son, type of grassroots level, with
Yeah.
the icons of Guardiola, Wenger before him, and all these guys who changed, the mindset of this country, where it's a lot more. I know, generally speaking, the Spanish and all these guys, the Italians play a lot more football on the floor and technically are better footballers, technically speaking, in isolation than the English. The English have a really good team, but technically speaking, there are better countries out there. But how much do you hear it now that this lad's 6 foot, he has to play?
Ask him, when you look at the look, I can only speak about kids that are between 5 and 8 because I've seen it over the years. There is a big, you definitely have a massive advantage in them years if you're a bigger lad, especially if you're a winter born compared to a summer born because you're playing 8-9 months on the actual young kid on the other kids, so it does make a difference. And you see you actually see the levels from the Asian kids to the thingy because they're a bit stronger. Genetics plays a massive part in this. Let's be honest. I can vouch and I can because I've seen it with my own eyes. Yeah, at first, I was one of them saying, "Yeah, come on, man." I used to probably blame ourselves more than the other kids saying we don't give our children the full support backing to take them as further as possible. But we do start off behind. But I think over from about 8 till 11 when there's a growth sort of spurt from the Asians, we go through that around 8 years, 7 years old, 8 years old. There is a bit of and we do catch up. And I think on the floor, in terms of technical ability, Asim, I'll be honest, I think those Asians are brilliant. I watch
Yeah,
those. I watch some of the kids Asians play, and I think, wow, they have got some ability. Not saying, look, my kid's unbelievable, but compared to what I've seen, he's a good footballer. He's got a footballing brain, and it's just I think the physicality side of it we do struggle with. You can give them as much badam and but
I mean,
what do you call
I
hot
mean,
milk and all the desi remedies, let's say. But end of the day, it is what it is.
I,
uh,
I, I don't
I
know if
mean,
you. I don't know if you.
G's making Hadi sound like a McAllister.
We need speed. I don't know if you remember, but I think cricket is closing the gap. We've seen Usman Khawaja for Australia, Nasser Hussain, and I think sometimes just that level above, we just don't cut it. I'll give you a perfect example. Asim, you'll remember Mark Ramprakash
Yeah,
for Essex.
orthodox, proper
Yeah,
player.
yeah.
Who cut it at test level though?
He couldn't cut it on the
What his talent was.
yeah. He couldn't cut it on the international trade, but for Essex, he would hit centuries upon centuries, weekend in, weekend out. He had a crazy average and county level. When he
Yeah,
stepped up to international level against the big boys, the Curtly Ambrose, the Courtney Walshers, the Glenn McGraths, he just couldn't make that grade. He's probably the greatest county player
yeah,
that ever
yeah.
existed, to be honest, because his batting average was crazy. He just couldn't get onto that next level. I think there's a fine line, even in our academy, we see Kieran Morrison ripping it up. Even tonight, scored two tonight, or scored two, one from the corner, one free kick, and we think, oh, he's so good for this level. He needs to go out on loan, but has he got that? Can he elevate another level to get to the Premier League? That's where it's really, really tough. Big up Ravi Bopara. I actually personally know Ravi Bopara from Middlesex. That's where he lives and that's what he played for. But yeah, just that next level, sometimes we just don't have that. I don't know what it is, whether it's hunger or whether just that, that come on, that last drive. It is what it
Mm.
is.
Guys, that was a good 34 minutes of the show. We spoke about anything but the show, but you know what? I enjoyed the actual chat. Guys, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. Selection goes, did Avi go to the dentist or something? He's speaking a bit different. Yeah, he went to the dentist. He had his wisdom tooth out and he's crying wolf. He's crying about, he's asking for a load of sympathy from us. So fair play to him. For actually coming on, I'm not gonna give him crap. You know what? He actually came onto the show, so big up to
This
him.
is why, Gene. This is why we never have an agenda. Just let the conversation go wherever it goes. Ramena.
Especially on a Friday night, we can talk about all sorts and anything and everything. But guys, Avi, Asim, Sunday, huge game. Nottingham Forest away, 2 p.m. Avi, I'm going to come to you first. Massive game, man. They've just come off a massive victory. They just, beat Fenerbahce 3-0 away in Istanbul, which is a big result for them. I saw the game. I thought they played really well. They actually battered Fenerbahce. It's a huge game on Sunday, and it's a game we simply have to take 3 points.
It's a must win, and yesterday I know they had a very impressive result, but I think traveling the Thursday to Sunday combination, I think that's had a big detrimental into their season. But that club's in a bit of a mess. The owner, Macaronanis, however you say his name, he just seems one of those over the top owners who just wants instant success. And when you think about it now in hindsight, should not have got rid of what's his name, Nuno. Nuno was doing a very good job, got them into Europe. The style might have not been great, but stabilize yourself for a couple of years in the Premier League, like Brentford have done with Thomas Frank, like Brighton did with Graham Potter. Just stick with it and then make that next change. But obviously, he was too impatient and he did what he had to do, and now they're struggling, and I can see them going down. It will be a different game. I know they got Vito Pereiro in. I think he was the ex-Wolves manager as well. Yeah. And look, they've got some great players. Gibbs White is a good player. Hudson Odoi, who scored a winner before Anfield last season. This season, Gibbs White was brilliant. Elliot Anderson, the talk of the town right now. Morelio, who's a good centre-back, someone that we may look at come the end of the season if they get relegated. They've got Igor Jesus, who's still a good forward, can cause problems. But, Gene, the way we're kind of turning the corner a little bit, and I hope that's what we're doing, I think we'll have too much for them, especially with an 8-9 day rest. I know previously we've said this, when Liverpool have a rest, they come back and they look worse for wear, but I think we'll get that win. And it's a tricky ground. That Nottingham Forest, they'll be up for it Sunday, 2 p.m, I believe. Yeah. They'll be definitely rapturous, and they'll definitely get behind their boys. But I think I'm confident that we'll get a result. I'm confident if we dig deep a little bit, we'll get the result.
I watched that Forest game, and I was really impressed with them. You look at their team, you go through their names. They're a good team. Aina at right back, Milinkovic, Murillo, Williams, Sangare, Anderson, Hutchinson, Odoi, Gibbs White, and then Igor Jesus up front. That is a good footballing team. That is we forget they've actually got a really good footballing team. They might not have been playing well this season, but new manager bounce, I've always called it. It does have an impact. And we've always struggled against Forest. They beat us 3-0 at Anfield this season. It's gonna be a tough game.
Gene, I've just looked at that team as well, and you're right. You're right. On paper, it looks a very, very balanced team, doesn't it? A proper balanced team. But it's the blueprint, isn't it? How to beat Liverpool. And if you discount the top 10 and you pick one team from the bottom 10, generally speaking, I know they had a really good season, and that's why they're playing European Cup competition this season. But for different reasons, they find themselves in a relegation battle. But which team would you choose? Nottingham Forest would be in the top 3 for many people. Why? They park a bus really well. They're really organized. They work for each other. They keep it tight. They're really decent they've got physicality, decent on set pieces. They've got Murillo, who can shoot from 80 yards and sometimes get a goal or hit the bar. He'll shoot from anywhere, but he's a no-nonsense type of defender, where Avi was just talking about those sort of players who've got the hunger. When you watch him play, certainly got the hunger. But it's a cup final for them, Gene. We've got history with the club, the fans, managers, ex-managers, and all that sort of stuff. And we've been to that ground many times. And for a ground that hosts around 23,000 people, it makes a noise of a 60,000 stadium. It really, really does. That song that they sing right at the start, the first time I went there, I can remember the steward asking me, "Is this your first time in the away end?" I said, "Yes." It was about 3 years ago. I think it was 0-0 on that day. And he goes, "Listen to this." And even he joined in, like he was sat in the home end behind the manager. It was a proper. I think Atik was there as well with Talha.
He was. I remember.
He was at the in-laws that weekend. He thought he could walk down to the stadium, and we saw a bloody 0-0 draw. We hardly got a touch of the ball. I think that day, Nottingham Forest were probably really good value for the draw. But honestly, even when I was there at the Nunes winner, it might take some sort of a moment of magic. I know that's been the theme last year, has been the theme of this year with the manager mentioning it in the press conferences. But I think it might come down to a moment of magic, because I can see them being really, really defiant, really resilient. We controlled the game against Arsenal. We controlled the game in the second half against City, capitulated in the last 10 minutes. We controlled the game against one of the most physical sides with Sunderland. And I think we need to make sure we control the game. No bozo moments, no silly mistakes. Because if you give encouragement to these type of players like Hutchinson and Morgan Gibbs-White, they've got the quality to hurt you, Chin. They really have. They might be languishing really deep in the Premier League table, but they've got proper players. Proper players. And Morgan Gibbs-White, what was he linked with? About £80 million move away to City last summer.
Yeah.
It was a done deal. It was a done deal to Spurs in summer.
It was done deal.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Before that, he was linked to City as well, wasn't he? I think.
Yeah.
When KDB replacement was being talked about and stuff like that.
I'll be honest, Avi. This is the one game that I always fear Forest. It's just one of them fixtures, as I mentioned. Whenever we've played them, even when they were good, even when they were shy, they always put up a fight against us, and it's a massive, massive game. You look at the fixtures this weekend. You think Chelsea, they've got Burnley at home, so you can, let's be honest, 3 points there. Yeah. United have got Everton away on Monday night. So I think ours is probably the toughest of fixtures. I think United will beat Everton on Monday. So it's a must. I think they will. I think it's a must for us, Avi. It's a must-win game. More so because I think Chelsea have got difficult fixtures coming up. If we definitely need to take 3 points in this game on Sunday, because we can't be, we've just caught up last week when both two teams drew. We won our game. We caught up, a couple of points, made a couple of points. We can't be dropping points again and falling another 4 or 5 behind again with another less game to go. So it's a massive, massive game. And honestly, Avi, the importance of this game, I can't stress it enough. This game is huge. And it's a game that our players simply have to turn up.
Yeah, I think the next 5 games, Gene, I think it's against the bottom half of the table, and I think Forest is the tough one, and then we've got 4 should be winnable games. But look, I wouldn't say Leeds and Aston Villa tomorrow is an easy game. I think it's a very early kickoff. Chelsea, I think, you can expect 3 points against Burnley. I think Everton United will be tricky. Moyes down them over at Old Trafford with 10 men as well this season. So I think that will be a tough game for United away to Everton. Monday night, they're still settling in the new ground. But yeah, for us, there's no excuses, Gene. 3 points for the offering, and we need to capitalise. Get 3 points and see what happens this week with Villa and United. But the next 4 games after that, they should all be winnable, and we should definitely be amongst 3rd or 4th, depending on how Villa do.
Asim, how do you see in terms of Liverpool? I look at the team, obviously, going by Arne Slot's press conference. Obviously, Frimpong is still 1 week away. But Joe Gomez, good news. Joe Gomez is back. He's trained. He's fit, and he's most likely will travel with the squad as well. Obviously, we don't have a recognised right back right now. Is it a game which you feel Joe Gomez will start?
I think he was asked in the press conference, wasn't he, Gene, that is Joe Gomez fit enough to start? And he said yes.
Yeah,
he said yes. So we were just talking about the physicality of the league, the physicality of Nottingham Forest away from home, counter-attacks. It depends how do you want to control the game by football? Do you want to have someone like Curtis Jones with a good game against Brighton at right back? It's a bit harder away from home against that crowd. But you have to have the courage. You have to have the courage to play. Or do you have to play? Do you play safe and respect their physicality, respect their territorial advantage in some moments as well. Because you think that crowd, those players, transition type of players, counter-attacking players will hurt you, will have some moments. You just need to make sure you respect that. And you maybe need to give Mohamed Salah a bit more protection, and they'll target that Nico Williams. He's up and down that flank. I think that's one big
Whoever
decision
the
at
right
right
back
back.
is, Avi, Asim, he's up against Hudson Odoi, just so you know.
Yes, and Hutchinson on the other side, is it?
Yeah. So your right back is going to be up against Hudson Odoi.
Hmm.
I'll be honest with you, I don't want to see no Curtis Jones or Dominic Szoboszlai in that right back position, especially if he's up against the pace of Hudson Odoi.
Okay.
He's not had a great season though, Odoi, just to put it out there. Yes, he can run on a man and he can cut inside, and he's got a dollar here and there once in a while, and he scored once against us at Anfield. But to be honest, Gene, no, Amari Hutchinson on the other side, he can be tricky. You know, I famously linked him with us last season as a potential Salah successor. But you know, he can be tricky. But I wouldn't worry too much about Odoi this season. I know what you're saying, Gene. You'd rather have a natural right back there. You don't want to see Jones, but I think he might just pack Jones in there just to pack that midfield area a little bit more as well, because Elliot Anderson, Sangare, Gibbs White, all comfortable with the ball, all physical, especially like Sangare and Anderson. They'll definitely, be amongst the pigeons. I think Forrest could play with Ryan Yates as well. A really ugly of a dog of a footballer, but Vito Pereira might stick him in there because he might be playing for the draw. See how the game goes. They'll settle for a draw.
Avi sounded the loudest when he was calling someone a dog tonight.
Oh, I hate Ryan Yates. Ryan Yates he's a bastard of footballer. He did a
You know
number
what?
of Anfield. He gets away with fouls as well.
You know what? Thinking about it, I probably agree with the fact that he's going to pack the midfield. How he packs that midfield, I think he's not going to go with Jones. Are you frozen? No, you're not. You're moving. I think he'll go Wirtz on the left, and he'll go Sobo right back.
Sobo right back.
Wirtz from the left. Sobo at right back.
Jones
McAllister. Gravenberg.
McAllister in the 10.
No, McAllister, Gravenberg,
and
Jones.
So who's in the 10?
Jones.
Chalo.
Why that?
I'm just looking at this fucking team. We're playing every single.
The reason why I say that is because
what is it? That's 1, 2, 3, 4 midfielders that we're playing with Wirtz, Salah, and Ekatike.
Because
I don't want to see Dominic Szoboszlai on that fucking right back position. But
I think
didn't he have that option? But I told Sobo in a couple of weeks ago, who's he up against? Was it City?
Who?
Bouligia. I forgot. He played really well at right back. He was one of our best.
I think we will pack the midfield because Sangare, Elliot Anderson, Gibbs White, they're hard workers. They'll try to control the middle of the park. I don't think we can control the middle of the park with Wirtz, Grab, and McAllister there, Gene. That's the only thing. I think we're a little bit light.
I have no issue with that. I'm okay with if you said to me today, Wirtz is going to play from the left and Szoboszlai at right as the 10. I'm okay with that. I think that should be the team. If I'm honest with you, I think Szoboszlai should play in the 10. I don't want to see him at right back. I want Gomez at right back. I want a right back at right back. I don't want to see Curtis Jones. This is a difficult game, man. This is a difficult game. And I don't want to see another, Curtis Jones or the Szoboszlai. I don't want to see either of them.
What if he goes Sobo at right back, but Wirtz in the 10 and Gakpo on the left? Then at least you've got Sobo coming into midfield with the ball, so you still got an extra midfielder. I guess that is the same as Jones playing right back, but I think he prefers when he thinks he's probably getting more of the ball. I think he doesn't mind playing Curtis Jones, where he needs a bit more connection with the defensive line. But when he thinks he's coming up against a decent winger, I think he thinks Sobo can handle the winger better than Jones.
I agree with that, but I think we're going to get barred in. I think if Gakpo and Verts play tomorrow with Saboslai on in the right back, bro, I'm not happy with that team. I think we have to play Gomez tomorrow, man.
Who would your team be then, Gene?
I want Gomez at right back. I'd go Gomez at right back, McAllister, Gravenberg, Szoboszlai, Verts on the left, Salah,
Wait,
and
slow down, man. Slow down. Yeah.
Gomez at right back.
Gomez at right back.
Yeah. Szoboszlai in the 10. Yeah.
Mhm.
In the midfield. Then you've got McAllister and Gravenberg, or if you want to play Jones, I don't have an issue with that, whoever plays, but it's most likely going to be McAllister and Gravenberg with Verts on the left. But I want Szoboszlai in the 10. I need his energy. I need his running thingy, because we're going to need that tomorrow.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Avi, what would you do?
I would go with what you said originally. Sobo on the right, McAllister, Jones, Grav, Wirtz off to the left. I'd rather get. We need to take control of the middle of the park, and they're imposing. Elliot Anderson has shown he can control games in big stadiums this season. Sangare is a good foil for him. Then you got Gibbs White, who does a lot of shifts. I know he's a 10, but he can drift to the left, he can drift to the right, and he runs as well. He makes up ground yards. He runs a lot. So he's as a third sitting midfielder with the two of them. I like the three of us: McAllister, Grab, and then Jones, and then Wirtz off the left, and then Gakpo can come on. Gakpo away City ground. I'm thinking at the Nottingham Forest ground. I just don't think he might fancy it, man. I just don't think he'll fancy it.
I will always say this. I completely agree with him. You playing five midfielders.
Yeah, but come on.
Playing your best
That's not
injuries. That's not default. It's because of the injuries.
That's not fault.
But what I'm saying is you need to play him. You at least play your best player in his position. I don't like him at right back. I don't want to see him at right back. If you got Gomez, play him there, man. Why? I don't understand. Play your best player in his position.
We've had this conversation about Gomez playing every week.
But you have to sorry for him.
Gene, we've had this conversation about Gomez playing every week once before.
Give him one game. Give him this game. Then he can chill out. Then Frimpong's back next week anyway. Frimpong's back next week. So
I would love to see that. I would love to see that. Gomez at right back, Sobo in the 10, Wirtz from the left. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. But I can't see it. I'd be surprised. Szoboszlai is a victim of his own versatility. Let's be honest. Just like in some cases Gerrard was as well. You know, when Alonso and Sissoko were playing, you know, Gerrard, how many times did he play from the right? And then when he went into number 10, obviously he was a brilliant number 10 with the connection with Torres. But the thing is, if you're better at in more positions than your teammates, then you get, you know, thrown all over the position. But what I will say, sticking with the Szoboszlai, I saw an article, I think it was from Paul Joyce. I believe that was pure club narrative again.
He believes that's calling me.
That was pure narrative. I don't know if you saw it. I didn't read the article, but I saw it got aggregated. That Szoboszlai is an integral part of the team, this and that, and he was always going to be an integral part of the team. I don't believe that. I really don't believe that. He's a brilliant player, an integral part of the title-winning team, but I don't believe that this manager was going to put him in that team when everyone was fit. Playing well, if McAllister didn't have his issue early in the season, I believe Szoboszlai would have been on the bench. Now they can put out that narrative that this guy was always important to the team. He's always had the utmost trust and respect from the manager. For me, that's bullshit. That's bullshit.
I think they will try to portray now that, you know, he is, you know, the best player at the club at the moment. You know, the form that he's shown is all awesome. So they're going to portray this in the media narrative that, look, you know, we're nothing without Szoboszlai now. They know contractual talks will start beginning. Look, I've said it. We did the 5 in, 5 out. I'm very intrigued. I'm very interested. And summer can't come quick enough, in my opinion, when it comes to Szoboszlai and what the club does. Whether we go all out and pay him 300, 350 a week, or whether, you know, a certain club comes knocking and he's kind of lured by them. It's interesting to see what happens.
Yeah.
And look, Salah, I think there's a bit of tongue in cheek in what Salah did this week as well.
Do you think so?
I think so. Come on, he knows.
Getting his best mate a nice little earner.
Salah knows what he does. Salah knows what he does when he posts on Instagram.
Bachara puts a
Yeah,
photo.
no, he's not Bachara. He's not Bachara.
Yeah, and these guys get their knickers in a
Do
twist.
not show a bit of bias here. Come on, Salah's done it
Yeah,
before.
guy puts up a photo of the lads come home for iftari, yeah, right? The guy, yeah, and Avi's got his knickers in a twist.
Sabasa wasn't doing iftari, was he? Sabasa wasn't doing iftari. Salah was doing
invited him
iftari.
over.
Never know.
He could have invited him for the inside indoors to his swimming pool, taking a picture there. Why on that particular sofa?
Yeah, it's iftari time, isn't it?
I didn't see any dates. I didn't see any. Food there.
It's gupshup time. It was
Gupshup, innit? It's gupshup, iftari time, gupshup.
He didn't need to post.
Why do you have to take everything so serious, Avi? But to be fair to Salah, he did big him up though, Avi, in his last interview though. Called him the best midfielder in the world and all that type of stuff. So, I think he is helping his best mate out there a little bit.
I think we'll hear some really good news about Dominic Szoboszlai soon, that he signed a new contract.
Okay, that means contract.
Oh yeah, please. Here we go.
What the hell? I said. I think we'll hear some news very soon about Dominic Szoboszlai signing a new contract.
Contract ho gaya, that's what you're trying to say.
No, it's an opinion.
Avi, how much do you reckon if he signs the contract, how much he's going to get?
Look, I think you'd have to pay upwards 250 to 300 easy. 25 years old, probably coming into his last sort of big contract, 4-year contract. That would mean that we're gonna have the best of Dominic Szoboszlai at Liverpool. Because at 29 to 33, the next contract, you're probably looking somewhere away. Let's see.
Salah's probably saying, I'm probably going to go into somewhere, innit? That 450 grand that I'm saving, you know what? Try and get as much as you can from that.
I changed my opinion, Gene, by the way. I want Mohamed Salah to stay next season. I want him to stay.
Okay.
Whoever comes, what I will say is, if we sign one winger, we sign two wingers. I want them to learn and educate themselves.
Salah learn Karana. Salah's going to be more in that position for himself. Learn Karate.
No, that's the conversation that we need to have with Salah.
Yeah,
we need to have a conversation. If Salah, there's a conversation that's going to be taking place.
We're not there in Salah. We're not bringing in a winger, Avi. Yeah, I'm paying next month 450 grand a week. And we start on 50 million quid.
Let me tell you one thing. If Asim says what he thinks comes true, that Salah next season, and look, and sit him down and say, listen, we'll pay you whatever you want. It's your last year contract. But listen, the winger that's coming in, you're the one who needs to develop him. He needs to become like you in many ways. I tell you, if there's one,
honestly, you guys are lost.
If there's one player that I want, if there's one player out there that I want, and he was in my 5-in, it's Buzimana Toure then. If Salah is saying we need to go all out for this Toure guy because he's got the natural ability and he's got the skill set to become like Salah.
I have to put some of these comments on, man. They're actually quite funny. Oh, you're like, come kasme.
I think we can use Salah up top next season.
No
when you got Katika and Isak Tika, okay, Mr. Asim is telling us this. Yeah, he's gonna be third choice striker next season.
And do not sleep on Sonny Lamb either. Do not sleep on Sonny Lamb
every week, though, can they? They can't play every week. Katika and Isak, as we know from this season.
Asim, look, 40 million is shooty for him.
They have to sell in, man. They have to cash in, and I have no issue with that.
I think it's a conversation that with Salah, I think the club will tell him that this is the plan. We plan to bring in wingers. Are you willing to play that sort of role where you're not guaranteed for?
If they are not going to Salah and saying this is what we plan, they're gonna say,
"Oh, they are gonna."
Oh, shut the hell up! They want him out for 40-50 million quid. So your head up, man. I can't believe
they are not going to do that.
Like this today.
They are not going to do that.
It's Ramadan, man. You're just chatting rubbish today.
They are not going to do that.
He's on probably.
They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. We went to bloody Allison. Told him we're going to bring a keeper.
Asim, I tell you one thing now. He's on a £2 million a month contract. You'd think if he's on 450 plus a little bit of endorsements and whatnot. Say 2 million a month, you get 40 million for him. That's 64 million pounds. I know it doesn't work like that football. I know there'll be give or take, but that's about 60 million in the coffers this summer. Take away his wages and take away a transfer fee. You wanting him to be a tuition or substitution teacher, Pulida.
It makes absolute no sense. And he wants him as third striker, yeah, and he wants him to teach the kids.
Nah, he's a fucking
all right. Does Salah stay this summer?
No.
I say yes.
Well, your 5 out meant that he was out anyway. So why are you piping up?
He just said, I changed my opinion. He said, I changed my opinion.
No, you can't. 5 in 5 out was set in stone. That's it. You can't go back.
You play that game.
Just like when Scotland wins the European Cup, you're going to go back on your word and say, "Oh, Slovakia."
Guys, does Salah stay in the summer? Gene Lean coming up. Hey, I have asked him. You're going to get cooked on this one.
No. All right, TK. When the chat come to me in the summer and say,
this one I have to do. Where's it gone? You guys, you carry on. Let me do this.
Salah Pulida, and please, good riddance as well. Let him go.
Don't say good. By the way, don't say good riddance. Show a bit of respect.
Yes,
bro.
I'm not swearing, am I? I just said good riddance.
2 times you sounded normal. 2 times.
I'm trying. It's wearing off.
Once you were going outside, what was it? You calling someone a dog?
The anesthetic is falling off now. Wearing off.
Danny go skip Salah tuition center.
Abu Salah Foundation. There you go.
Abu Salah Foundation. They got 16 million for Hendo, and the club told him to make a deal happen, even though he didn't want to leave. He was club captain.
No, Salah, come on. I tell you one thing though, I think BVD could be offered an extension, Asim. There's a theory out there. The man has said it himself. Muhammad, the king, Salah has said it himself. I'm leaving to go Saudi. Saudi shot these going, mate.
Tika, we shall see.
Right, I'll put that up.
We shall see. The Saudis will come in. The Saudis will come in, no doubt.
Let's see what we'll carry on the with the poll later on. But yeah, so look, so Avi, in terms of the team, then you guys are probably you guys are wanting Jones or Szoboszlai at right back. I'm wanting Curtis. I'm wanting Gomez. Cody, so you guys have left Cody Gakpo out. I've left him out. I think the rest of the team's practically done then, isn't it, really?
Ekitike, nice little 8-day rest. I think he was in Paris. I think he went back to... He was at Paris, wasn't he, Ekitike, this week? Great Ramadan video from Hugo Ekitike as well, and what it means to him. So I know that's not football chat, but that was a nice little video that LFC put up there.
It was good, to be fair. My brother, Abi, my brother. Abi, prediction for the weekend?
Abi, you are something, man. You are something. You really are. You really are. Yes, proper politician you are. Proper politician.
I'm going with Liverpool 2.
Buddy share, yeah, honestly.
Nottingham Forest 0. 2-0.
2-0.
Goal scorers?
I think Mohammed scores.
I think Mohammed.
And I think I fancy Virgil from the corner or something. Yeah, I fancy Virgil and Salah, the old stalwarts.
Asim?
I think Ekitike will get one.
He needs one, actually. He hasn't scored in the last 3 or 4.
I think Ekitike will get one, and I fancy Wirtz to get one as well.
I think you're right. Dan Tico again, eh? Okay, now. Yeah, you got Tik.
I think the codeine is kicking in now.
Codeine or cocaine is one of the two.
I said Liverpool will win. I predicted it too. I predicted a 2-1 win yesterday. So I think I'm going to stick with a 2-1 win. And goal scorers, Hugo Ekitike, Florian Wirtz. 2-1 Liverpool win. Yeah, guys, give us your predictions, man. What are these predictions, man?
Why are people laughing today?
They're laughing
Why
at
do
your
you think
quote.
it? Because of you.
They're laughing at your quote comment.
I'm in so much pain. But chalo. Read some of the comments. I think there's some start. There's one super chat.
Yeah, the one super.
I want to address one of the youngsters as well that I haven't tweeted about, but I want to address one. Um, Go and read this. I in my fucking teeth, man.
Alan
Salah given
Palmares,
a super chat.
Kefran
Go on.
Turam, Onana, Schlotterbeck, Van de Ven, plus Yandia Mande, Senesi in, McAllister Gak, Paul Salah, Gomez out. Le Salah, I think that's 5 in, 5 out, maybe, or 5 in, 4 out. So he wants Alan in. Is that Kefran Turam, yeah? Onana, that's 3. Schlotterbeck or Van de Ven, that's 4. He wants 6 players in. Wow.
6 is normal. 6 is.
How much would that cost? Senesi's free. Yan demand, we said 70 million, 35. Ooh. Yeah, but I guess he's selling Gakpo, McAllister, and Salah. So yeah, he can recoup some money. It does work.
There's a lot of this talk about this Palmeiras kid, Alan.
Ikune?
Honestly, I saw a bit. You know me, guys. South America is not my forte.
Is he the new Andre? You know Andre from the guy. Okay. Is he the new Andre?
I saw a bit.
Everybody was going pagal over.
I saw a bit of him, but yeah, it doesn't impress me too much. And he's 21. He's not as if he's this young shot or starlet. And some of the big accounts who talk about South American footballers like youngsters. Alan has never been brought up, so I don't know where this link is coming from. He's a winger. He's off the right.
I watched him. I agree with Avi. He didn't.
Left footer, right footer?
Left-footed player.
Left footer, but there's nothing to him.
They don't do anything amazing for me to think, you know what, yeah. But then again, you're thinking 30 million quid or 30 million euros, whatever it is. That's what you're going to get, aren't you? You're not exactly buying a wonder kid from Brazilian football.
I think we've been very, very scarred from that market as well from the last sort of 20 years when we've tried to nip a Argentinian kid or a Brazilian kid from that market, and it's just worked out horribly wrong for us.
It's worked out horribly long because we never paid money for them. We're trying to get them on the cheap. But look at bloody the ones that go for when you spend a lot of money on the kids.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that Alan Rodriguez kid we brought? He was
I
don't and he looked good. He looked good. He was left-footed as well, midfielder. Went on so many loans, hundreds and thousands of loans, and we still couldn't get a permit from him.
Get a work permit for him.
We couldn't get a permit from him. Fully down. He's not going to do it. You know what? Slot 117. I did watch Caleb Yerenki. I wasn't that impressed either. I wasn't impressed by Yerenki. Just a tidy player. Yes, he can put a tackle in, but if you're looking for a DM stroke sort of someone that can carry the ball, Caleb Yerenki doesn't do it for me. But he's playing in the Danish league, I think Nordsjælland, if we get a 15-20 million, but again, not for me. A few more other comments. I have a question. Chat, Bale or Robin?
Asking Bale or Robin? Robin for me.
On their day.
Gareth Bale for me.
Robin, I loved Robin, man. I thought, what a player.
Robin was good, but on the day, Bale, he could pick one out. So I've not put him on. I've not tweeted about Sonny Lamby. But you know what? The boy can finish. Someone put his video of all the goals he scored under the 18s. The boy can finish. There's something about him. Obviously, Joshua Abe. I think Lamore Forrester next season will be the one that breaks through. I know he's getting game time, and the first two are getting the shine. But yeah, I like Sonny Lamby. But I think honestly, next season they need to go on loan. This level of football under 18s, under 21s, it's not good enough. They need to be in a tough league. Same with Kieran Morrison, Trent Coney-Doherty. You can have all the minerals and all the materials and all the components, but until you really play a men's football league, championship level, Premier League level, lower level, they won't push through. But Sonny Lamby, I like him. I like him a lot. This question from Mo, South Africa. How is it there for you lads at the stadiums, etc.? What's this for?
I think it was the racism discussion.
No issue at all.
UK
is completely different, man. I never experienced anything major. Let's just say that. Nothing. And we've been going to games for many years. Never really experienced. Here and little thing here in the thingy, but that's about it. Nothing major, if we're honest. Asim, is there anything else that we wanted to discuss today?
Last 10 minutes, we can do a quick
Yeah,
Q&A.
you know what? Let's do question session. Avi, question
Q&A,
time,
boys.
guys.
Q&A, boys. Q&A.
Q&A. Any questions, ask. We will try and answer them as quick as possible. You know, even you can do. What was it last time? What was that game that we played with the chat? What was it?
Guys, I've got a question for you two. Do you think Rivaldo was underrated?
Underrated.
I don't think he gets the credit that he deserves sometimes.
Yeah, maybe because who he was playing with. The likes of R9, even Ronaldinho.
Arami player, though. At Barcelona, Arami.
Oh, what a player. What a player.
Unbelievable player, man.
Scored that free kick for Olympiacos as well against us. When
What a
Gerard
player.
Right.
The questions are
Let me
starting
go.
coming through.
What? Quickly. Somerville? Question mark.
No.
No. Avi?
we liked him at Leeds, but nothing after that. No.
Done. Colin Shaw, Asim. Are we doing one anytime soon?
International break.
All right, that's fine. Next one. Uzair goes, ICC World Cup कौन जीतेगा?
Pakistan.
Inshallah.
This one's next. Asim, who is our coach next season? With top 5, without top 5?
Arnie Slot with the top 5. Without top 5, Xabi Alonso.
Avi?
Slot.
With or without?
With or without?
Same as Asim. Slot, Alonso.
Okay, next one. Anderson
No,
or
who
Warren?
for you? What about you? Slot out. For you, slot out.
Slots
Nicolo.
out. I'm you know, I don't dilly dally, Avi. Like some slot out
Short-
1 week, slot out
short-
the other.
Hey,
slot
short
in the
out.
other week, slot
Short out.
Champions League winners.
Short
I
Maro
don't dilly
fan.
dally.
Short Maro. Bolia Maro.
Anderson or Wharton?
Wharton.
Anderson for me.
Better player for me is Wharton. We need Anderson. Would you sign Rodrigo at left wing, right wing?
No.
Are you not fucking having a laugh? Every single one of you are dying for this player, yeah? 4 months ago.
He's
and
not
now
my
you don't
first
want him.
choice, though. He's not my first choice.
My first choice either.
All day, every day for me. 2 or 1 winger, 1 winger or 2 in the summer.
The last staying, so 1.
One.
2.
One elite, one league winger, and then one Mateus Mane style.
Isn't
Wait,
it?
go on, Avi. Angie.
Was a serious consideration back in 2024 if Kirkes wouldn't get done, but I don't think so now. Very good player though. We'll play for a top 5 elite club.
Long legs?
Avi, this is a question. Do you think Van Basten would have eclipsed R9 if he wasn't for injuries, lads? For me, he was unbelievable.
Yeah, the ankle snapped him up, didn't it, at Milan? Yeah, I would agree. Van Basten was the best goal scorer. That goal in 90, man, 91 Euros, 92 was it?
92.
Brilliant. Oh no, 88 it was. It was 88. It was 88, I believe. Yeah, the volley. Van Basten was elite. But
I didn't watch him play.
Incredible finisher.
Proper finish, man.
But eclipse, I think R9 without his ACL at Inter Milan.
That's another thing.
Would have been the greatest. Would have been the greatest player even in this day. He could play in any era. R9. Ronaldo was Ronaldo.
Okay. Let me just say.
Diomande and Mane. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, look, 3 Pakistanis. Of course, we're supporting Pakistan. Yeah, good. Yeah, well, what kind of question?
You can support Pakistan, but think they're still going to lose.
No, they're winning tomorrow.
I never saw Van Basten play, man.
That was fucking class. Remember Wembley, Arsenal, that show.
Salah.
Fiorentina, yeah, Battistuta was batty goal in it. Roma.
One thing I will tell you about Battistuta.
They won the Serie A.
One thing with Battistuta, he scored every goal. 30-yarder, 40-yarder, header, you name it, he had everything.
But
he was the elite finisher, man.
But Van Basten for me.
Batty goal. No, for me, probably
Van Basten at Milan, yeah, come on. yaar.
They were the best team in the world at that time, bro. Batigol went to Philippine Roma and delivered a title. They never won a title in their lives.
I think that Milan team.
Was that Capello? Aroma.
Yes.
Yeah, it was that one season. Yeah, 2001, I believe they won it. That's when Cassano came through as well. I think from Body.
I know. He didn't produce.
Yeah, he had the talent.
Yeah,
He's
he had the
never
talent
made it.
though. The talent. The boy was talented.
He
Real
was.
Madrid took a they took a
Chance
punt
on
on
him,
him. Yeah.
Which of the potential new signer would not be dependent on us winning the Champions League?
Which of the what? Potential new signings. All right.
Yan Diomande wouldn't be on Champions League if it was him. Barcola Pulijo. Who else do we name some players?
Mateus Mane.
Mateus Mane, I don't think that's with
Nico
that man.
Williams. Nico Williams wouldn't be dependent on us winning the Champions League.
Wharton or Anderson, is that dependent on Champions League?
Nah, if Wharton wants to come, he'll come.
Take it. There you go. Watch along. Is there a watch along on Sunday, Asim?
I think so.
There you go.
There must be a few more.
There's a
I'm
question.
really trying to go through just the comments as much as
Inzi, innit? Come on,
Wow.
man. Inzi had a better.
I think Inzamam had more talent than Yunus Khan. Yunus Khan had a better career and runs and stats and all that sort of stuff. That doesn't make Yunus Khan an unbelievable. I'm not saying he wasn't an unbelievable batsman. I think Inzi had more natural talent, but less hunger. Yunus Khan had more.
Inzi didn't lose weight, and that's the problem with Alu.
He'll be like you.
He should have lost a bit of weight. He'd been good between the stage. But his natural talent, Inzi, man, he was a top 3 batsman in the world at that stage.
Yeah, but I think Yunus Khan's numbers are crazy.
Yeah, his numbers are mental.
Go on quickly.
What do you take? Do you the left back from West Ham as backup left back if West Ham gets relegated? 100%.
Decent delivery. Very decent delivery.
100% I would.
There's a question here, Gina. I think, Gina, you should answer this one because you're Italian. Well, you like
Robbie Baggio. Robbie
The
Baggio.
poster boys of Italian
Robbie
football.
Baggio, mate. Robbie Baggio. He was the don. Baggio for me, number 1. Totti, number 2, then Del Piero. I love Totti, man, but Baggio was special.
Is that in terms of talent as well? Then, Chin?
Yeah, probably, yeah. They were all brilliant players, man. You can't knock any of them. They were proper 10s, man. All 3 were proper 10s.
That's a hard one to rank.
Baggio, man, what a player! What a player!
But you know what? 94, man. He missed the penalty. For me,
Playing with
you know what?
injury.
For me, again, I think Totti, man. Totti was sensational as well.
He was. They thought he was an unbelievable player. But
Del
again,
Piero,
he never really did it at on the international stage. Although I suppose he did decent when we got that year. They got to the Euro final and got beat by that golden goal. Where are you panel from? Where is the panel from? Avi's from
Keithley Sharif.
Eh?
Keithley Sharif.
Keithley, West Yorkshire. And Avi, where are you from?
I'm from England originally, but now in San Francisco.
Now in
Slough.
Slough.
Okay, this will be a good one. Be fair.
Rank these 3.
Yeah.
Fair.
No. Are we talking about what they've done up until this point?
No. Who do you think is gonna in 5-10 years time? Who will say like who was the better player?
Wirtz, Palmer, Bellingham.
I'll go Wirtz, Bellingham, Palmer.
I'm worried about Bellingham. I've said that for the last year now. I'm worried about him.
Yeah, to be fair, Avi's been one that's been after Jude Bellingham for about a year and a half since that when he thing is. All right, Avi versus Asim in a rave. Who wins?
I think I win. I think I'm quick over the first 50.
If I run backwards, I would beat him in a race.
He wouldn't.
I would run backwards and beat him.
No,
Live on stream. Next time you are in
England.
In England.
Behind the trippy.
We are doing this.
Behind the trippy. Yeah.
Live.
You know, if you ask, you can text Raj. You can text him before I text him. He will tell you how quick I was. Very
I,
deceptive.
I don't need to ask Raj. I'll find out in a couple of months when he come. We'll do this.
One thing, people saying Bellingham's overrated. Yeah, I find that's crazy, man. I find that mental. How can you say Bellingham's overrated, man?
I worry about Jude Bellingham.
Gone and proven it at Real Madrid, bro.
You know,
He's
Jude
gone and
Bellingham.
delivered the Champions League, and he was instrumental in that year.
Jude Bellingham is going to have the same problem on the field that Dele Alli had.
Ooh.
He needs to start distinguishing whether he's a midfielder in a 3 or this sort of in-between role, half space role that he plays as a 10. Not for a top team, but not for a top team. Let's see what happens. I could be totally wrong as well.
But
he's had a shocking season. He's had a shocking year, Jude Bellingham. I tell you that now. He's had a shocking year.
There's talk about Cole Palmer going to Man United. Is there?
He's a big
any
fan.
truth in that?
Massive United fan.
Is he?
Massive United
wow. Fan. Or like a Bruno Fernandes type of replacement. I think Cole Palmer is overrated.
No, Asim, you know what?
I think no. What I mean is, let me
a lot of penalties and whatnot, but you know his touch, his control, the way he sees the game, he's class.
No, yes, but I think I want a lot more. And to be fair to the scrutiny or the scrutinizers of Wirtz, they want to see more. Palmer's been exposed. Yeah. There's similar players like nonchalant type of players where you feel like, you know what, you're taking too long on the ball and all that sort of stuff. But Wirtz has probably got more time in terms because Palmer has played in the league a bit longer than Wirtz. But for me, I think Cole Palmer's got an attitude problem.
No, I don't think he has.
The moment that going gets tough, I don't think he's interested. I don't think
that's unfair. I think that's unfair.
That's my personal opinion.
You know, Palmer, that finish against Spain, it doesn't get talked about.
He's unbelievably talented, naturally talented. Yeah. No doubt about it. The way he cresses the ball, the way he passes, the cute ball here and there. Like you said, in unbelievable football intelligence. But I think he's a player that needs a bit more protection where Wirtz, hopefully, over the years, gets to the speed of the physicality team. Where if he's not getting the ball into feet in those areas, Wirtz can go into different areas and get involved. As I mentioned last week at the Sunderland game, he took 82 touches. For a number 10 to take 82 touches against Sunderland at that ground, I think it was only Van Dijk, or maybe even one more touch than Van Dijk. I need to double check. But it was something stupid, something ridiculous. For me, Cole Palmer would just go missing. And I'm not just talking about one game here, but again, unbelievably talented footballer. But I think there's an attitude problem with Cole Palmer.
I think you're both disrespecting Cole Palmer.
Really?
The guy, come on, man. The guy's pretty in the World Cup turned up against PSG and took the piss out of him, sent him sideways.
And
he did a lot then, man.
And then for 6 months.
No, but PSG wanted that. As PSG wanted that.
He did a lot of them.
But then he disappeared for 6 months.
Shit out of them.
Oh, yeah, he's had injuries this season, yeah.
I don't think. Look, ask him. You can struggle, man. The guys. Look, I'm not saying he's a world beater. But I'm not going to disrespect the player.
21, 22.
I think he's unbelievably. And he plays for flipping Chelsea. Are going through all sorts of bullshit that they're going through. I think he needs to move to a settled football team.
Can I tell you who's overrated? Massively, and he's just not suited to the league. And you can say what you want. Enzo Fernandez, such an average baller, average footballer. He's not a Premier League player. He doesn't.
I think he's got about 10 goals this season, hasn't he? No.
Yeah, he can score fucking 20 goals. Average footballer. Mark my words. As long as Enzo in that heart of that midfield with Chelsea, they'll never win anything major. Champions League, League leader.
Let's see.
He's one that blows out his arse.
So you've written off Bellingham. You've written off. Is anyone you rate?
He's not got the engine for a Premier League.
A lot of people who are saying Palmer is overrated. You know.
I don't think Palmer's overrated.
He's not.
If this is true, this is mad.
Yeah, I think he's went through a bit of a bad spell. Let's be honest, he did. He went through a really bad spell.
If that's true, I know he's had his injury, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Obviously, he's got time on his side as well.
You
think
know,
I think he's got the perfect foundation in that midfield at Chelsea. Gene,
I don't know if you've I don't
he's
know
got
if you
someone like Caicedo
You know,
behind him.
in terms of going forward, England, he has another striker. Is that fucking what's that Jackson he was playing for 2 years?
You know what?
He made Jackson look brilliant. Now he's got
You know
Jack
what?
Pedro
You know
looking
what?
ready to
To
go.
be fair to him, I think Jackson made Cole Palmer look really good because he always ran for him. He missed. He was like a Darwin Nunes, wasn't he? He was that
Yeah,
Darwin
maybe it
Nunes.
was a bit of a Darwin. But come on, Jackson was unbelievable. He scored bare goals for him last season. Palmer was brilliant that year. Look, I don't want to give too much shit to these players because I think all three of them. But Avi, I think you're too disrespectful to Jude Bellingham. By the way, तू तो उसकी totally ना गई छोड़िया ना. He's calling him Deli Yale.
You know
Yeah,
that game.
that
You
is
know that game that
disrespectful.
Bellingham had against Barcelona recently. Pedri was on the pitch. Bellingham was on the pitch.
the Copa del Rey.
I think I don't know. I saw some clips. Like Bellingham, he belonged on that pitch.
No, he belongs on that pitch.
He's a brilliant footballer, man. He's
Let's just see.
brilliant.
Let's just see. Let's just see. He's still young.
Bellingham
Man.
is a
Again,
brilliant.
I see where Avi's coming from. If I'm going to be not in terms of talent, Gene, but maybe I'm trying to I'm not trying to know. Maybe I'm believing the mainstream media, the headlines of what his character is like and this and that, because whenever he gets asked, he really brushes. He's really adamant, saying, "Look, this is complete bullshit, this and that." But there is a narrative running. Whether it's right or wrong, I don't know. I don't really look into Real Madrid and all that sort of stuff. But he's a bit of a naughty boy. That doesn't really respect the manager. Part
No,
of
for me, I don't care what he does off the pitch. I don't care about his application attitude. I'm worried about on the field. He needs to distinguish whether in the next 6-7 years, whether he's a midfielder in a 3 or whether
What do you think he is?
I look at him at Dortmund, I thought he was going to be just like a box-to-box midfielder. But then he found this role as a 10. And look, that first season at Real Madrid, scoring the winner against Barca, the Champions League final. He didn't play particularly well in that final, but they won it. He was instrumental in the documentary. I actually genuinely love the kid. I just think, has he got that discipline? Do Real Madrid play with a natural 10 going into the future? I think Arda Güler, you put him in as a 10, he would be more influential, but I don't think Real Madrid will do that. I'm just not sure. About him. I'm happy to be wrong. I like Jude Bellingham. I like the character.
I think Bellingham's here for 10 years, mate. He ain't going nowhere, mate. He's a winner, man. He's an elite winner. I'm telling you, his mentality is of an elite winner. You saw that early on in his years, and yeah, I agree with selection. Box 8, that's his position. He has to be.
He doesn't play that though right now.
I love Real Madrid play. They've got other players that they want to play there. You got players like Valverde. They played slightly. They play different. But this guy in that year when he went to bloody Real Madrid, when they cleaned up literally, he was instrumental in them winning the Champions League. Instrumental. That's how good he was. And big games against Barcelona's, the guy scored winner upon. I think he's got 3 or 4 winners just against Barcelona, like late winners in what 2 or 3 years. That tells you if he's got the mentality to do it at the highest level when you do it against Barcelona, especially in La Liga. Won the Champions League already in what 2.5, 3 years. He'll be thereabouts. He's not going anywhere. Deli Ali Shali Pulijo me. He's not Deli Ali. I can guarantee you that. I just think you guys.
Avi's wrote off Bellingham. I wrote off Palmer.
Palmer, you've wrote off. Monvert Jackson, best player in the world. Okay.
Of
There
course.
you go. I told you to be honest. Yeah, one thing.
No, look, that's just a personal feeling. I'm not doubting Palmer's talent. He's probably one of the most gifted footballers in the league. He is. But as we've seen, I think you need more.
Well, in the last 2-3 weeks, he has turned a leaf. To be fair, under Rosinier, Palmer.
People are gunning me for words, saying, geez, I didn't write off words. I gave him 3 out of 10 for the first 2.5 months that he played for Liverpool, and he was shit. And I gave him 3 out of 10.
That was the right thing to do. and Palmer's pajamas.
Eh?
Tina has worst punching bag and Palmer's pajamas.
Oh, inshallah, Wirtz wins the Ballon d'Or.
But you know what? What I would say is Bellingham on the pitch in terms of mentality. You mentioned his goals, late winners. That's all mentality, Gene. That's all mentality. Obviously, skill helps as well. His mentality helps a lot, and that is the difference at the highest level.
Oh, that's one thing that you can't take away from him, man. Asim, he's a winner. He's an elite winner, man. You see it, bro. He never goes hiding. That's the one thing I can tell you about Jude Bellingham. Even when the chips are down, he'll still demand the ball.
Yeah,
he's still
you know, 100%. But sometimes it's a fine line, you know, wanting to do it all yourself and showing the courage to carry your team as well. At times, I've watched Bellingham, like he wants to take the whole team on. He hogs the ball. Yeah, it's a fine line. It's a fine line. You have the courage to do it, but sometimes you want to just make the simple pass.
I'm very interested to see what Tuchel does with him for England this summer. It'll be good to see what Tuchel. I'm not sure what Tuchel does.
No, would you play him in the 10? Or
who
whatever you want to play him?
Quarterfinal, England, Spain. Who's your front six?
He's played against Spain in the final, didn't he, of Euro 2020?
Oh, Bellingham starts, mate.
Who is your starting 11? Rice and Anderson play?
Yep.
Gordon and Saka and Kane?
Rice, Anderson and Wharton play against Spain. There's no space for Jude Bellingham in that England team. Against Spain.
Spain. Anderson?
Rice and Wharton.
Who's gonna play the 10?
No one needs to play the 10 necessarily. I'll push Elliot Anderson up there when there's more control. I'll push Declan Rice up there.
Oh yeah, as I'm closing the show. You know when this guy talks baloney like this.
This is where I'll tell you, and this is when I know Gene does not follow international football or European football for that matter. Tommy Tuchel.
He thinks he's gonna play Rice, Wharton, and
Tommy Tuchel is not a fan of Jude Bellingham, and you will see that in the World Cup, Putter. And when I'm right again, I will come up. I'll come up to the.
Gene, you're laughing, but that's Wharton in the 6, and then 2 box-to-box midfielders either side of him.
Oh yeah, he's playing a 10, man. Asim, he's gonna play Bellingham.
What did Jude Bellingham?
As they played a game with them playing in it. I want to see a game when them 3 have started. Show me one.
What did Bellingham do against Spain? What did Bellingham do against Spain in the Euro 2020 final? What did he do? He hid. It was Cole Palmer. It was Cole Palmer that came to the fore and rescued England for that 1-1 draw before they got beat. Yeah,
just because they lost, he goes to hit. You got beat. It happens. It's a football match.
What did he do against Spain when it really mattered in the final? But what did he do?
It's like me saying, what did Wharton do?
The game changer. Bellingham, thank you, Esther. This is what I mean. You don't watch international football.
Rodgers, yes, maybe. Yeah, Rodgers, I can understand Rodgers. I can understand him saying Rodgers instead of Bellingham in that game. Wharton, Anderson, Rice.
You're out of your depth of these conversations. You're out of your depth in these conversations.
No. Wharton, Anderson, Rice.
You are.
Listen, regardless of what it is.
So Asim, he just admitted Bellingham doesn't get into his team either. Bellingham doesn't get into your team either then. You've just said, yes, I accept. Bellingham doesn't get into your England 11. That's what you just said.
This guy, he doesn't, he's not looking. He doesn't even know what I said.
Does Bellingham get into your England 11?
100% he starts.
Okay, let's see. Asim, first game of the season.
5 minutes ago.
Clip this. Let's see first game. Whoever they play, whether they play Romania, Shemania, we'll see first game against.
We're gonna see if Wharton, Anderson, and Wharton, Anderson, and Declan Rice are 3 in the midfield. My argument is not. If you said to me Morgan Rodgers, if you said to me Palmer in the 10 or Foden in the 10, yeah, I accept.
It's no open secret. Thomas Tuchel will not play Bellingham. Asked him in the first game of the World Cup with England. Yaad rakhiyo.
Chalo, let's see.
And then you know what? He'll make an excuse up, like he always does. I've had it up to here with your fucking ulti shouts. Cavallo Ballon d'Or, this, that, the other, falana. Custom say you're out of your depths when it comes to this kind of talk. Don't talk. Actually, don't talk. I should have hosted. I think I should have hosted. It's painless right now because of him.
I think Tuchel has Rodgers ahead of Jude. That's fine. That was my thing. I'm okay with that because he's a 10 and he can play in that position.
Where does Tommy Tuchel see Rodgers in this England team? By the way, asking Eugene.
Sorry?
Where does Tommy Tuchel see Rodgers in this England team?
What do you mean? Where does Tommy Tuchel see Rodgers in? Where does he play? He plays on the left or on the 10. That's it. Or could the class, yes, sir. He's not playing him right back like you'd fucking suggest.
I wanted to ask you a question. That's it.
Thank you. I think I like he's some fucking sort of tactician. He's a tell team where he's
I'm not a tactician. I'm just baffled. I'm just baffled that you think that Tuchel fancies Bellingham. You think he fancies Bellingham in the 10. Chalo, let's see. I'm excited now. England first game. England first game. I can't wait now.
I can't either. Anyway. Oh yeah, 1 hour 34 minutes Friday night. Guys,
numb ho gaya. I'm ready for another hour. I'm going. Let's fucking go now. Let's go now.
There's another super. I can't. Oh, Gina, you can't compare Gordon to Alexis Sanchez.
Who compared Alexis?
Koi pata nahi. I don't know what you're on about. Custom, I don't know what you're on about. But you can't compare. Yeah, I can't compare them. Alexis Sanchez was a different level.
Sanchez was a good footballer, man.
Rami player, man. We wanted him. Should have got him, man.
Phil Thompson sold us a dream. He said it was done, the bastard.
Anyway, are we done?
Rodgers would have played him in a RCM role, knowing him. Look what he did with Firmino, bastard. Brendan.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a good show. It was a good show. Guys, Gina loves Jude, huh? Hey, Jude.
Did you say it was done? Were you one of them that said Jude ho gaya?
I wasn't actually one of them.
No. Yeah, you are.